Welcome everyone to the Real Life Trading Swing Trading Room. My name is Brad Reed and I am a real life trader, and I would like to encourage you to be good, and by good I mean get out of debt, achieve your financial dreams, and give generously to your community. Rob asks a very deep and philosophical question that we are all asking right now. What's up? Okay, maybe not. What's going on, everyone? Benjamin says hello, says hey family. What's up? Sharon says howdy. Howdy. Benjamin says yields are up. That's what's up. There you go. I like that. Just a quick Jeremy Alexander Newsom update. Doing much better today. So on the mend, steadily improving. So all good news. There is a very good chance you will not have to put. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure what's going to happen next week because at one point Jeremy was supposed to be on some vacation next week. So you might have to put up with me for 2 weeks in a row. Don't really know, but we will figure it out together. The important part is that Jeremy Newsom is on the mend. Yes, very good news. Catching up with the chat pane, lots of people saying hello and saying yay and glad to hear. Angela, thanks for being here. Appreciate you logging in this morning or this afternoon. B Matt, what's up? Benjamin is here in the house. Bill, what's going on? Brad Hauser. I mean, we'd be brothers if like first names were what counted, but we can be brothers in spirit, right? Eric is here. Frank is here. Gary, thanks for logging in today. Gene is here. Gil is here. Goran, Julian, Justin J. What's up? Masashi and I've been trading a lot together this week and crushing things. Mike, what's going on? Paul, thanks for logging in. Rob is here. Roy is here. Scott McKay, thanks for being here. Sharon is here live. Simon is here. What's going on? Yates. And then my attendee list just got a little bit out of hand as lots of folks just climbed in. I see Raj just joined us. What's going on, Raj? Thanks for being here. Corey, welcome. And lots more people piling in. So thank you to everyone for being here. For those of y'all that are here live, if you don't mind, click that button in your chat pane that says all panelists and change it to all panelists and attendees. Then everyone can see your awesome thoughts. And for those of you watching the recording, thank you for watching the recording. I did get out a real life stock review today, so be sure and check that out. I have a feeling we're going to talk about some of the stocks here that were in the real life stock review. And also, I got a weekly options newsletter out, and we'll most definitely talk about that here. But before we do, let's talk about the SPY, because holy smokes, I did the stock review about 90 minutes before the market closed, and we had a very cute little doji. What the heck happened? Man, I did a real life stock review and the SPY tanks. Because literally it was like on that candle when I was doing the stock review. Benjamin says, I bought some TVIX shares at lunch. All right. Gil says, on the iPad, it won't stay on all panelists and attendees. All right, Gil, no worries. Masashi says, I'm not really trading, just watching and asking, collecting data so I can create my trading plan. Holy smokes. So Masashi, you're actually saying you're going to create a trading plan that is based on data and steadfast rules rather than just throwing money to the wind here and there? Dude, that sounds like a professional plan. Nicely done. Great decision. Benjamin says that TVIX is a XX leveraged VIX volatility fund. All right. So if you bought shares, yeah, so this downward move in the market would mean that volatility is going up. Benjamin says, I got them cheap. Brian says, that almost sounds like trading on logic. Yes. Yes. So nicely done, Masashi. Great decision. It will be very interesting to see. Let me switch this to the hourly. What we do early in the morning tomorrow. We do have a pretty nice little support here making higher highs and higher lows on the SPY. And now that I look at it, we did the same thing yesterday that we did today, and very similar the day before that. Yeah, this is October 1st, this is October 2nd, and this is October 3rd. So maybe not quite as troubling as what I first imagined. Kind of did it last Friday. But yeah, just surprising to see it so different, because I keep thinking we're going to go bullish, but Benjamin brought up a great point yesterday that while the market does look a little bit bullish, there's a lot of big companies that are not. Benjamin says, look at RSI. Ooh, are we going to have divergence? Is that what's going on? Yes, this is most definitely divergence on the stochastics, the RSI as well. So what this says is don't go bullish. There you go, Benjamin. At Ashley Allen 1 FTP for at Benjamin Jane for identifying bearish divergence on the SPY. Nicely done, Benjamin. That is definitely divergence. And again, what divergence means is that the momentum is running out. It means the strength of the move is waning. It is diminishing. It doesn't mean that we're going to go bearish. It doesn't mean we're going to go sideways. It doesn't mean we cannot continue bullish. All it means is that the momentum is slowing. Now, if I'm a stock trader, I'm not going to trade it bullish. So after looking at that, I would be surprised if we make higher highs. I think there's a great chance that we go sideways, maybe come back down into the support before we go higher. But great analysis today, buddy. Let's take a look at the DIA. Again, all-time highs today for the second day in a row, and we came back and retested that old resistance. Let's see if we're getting it over here as well. And yep, yeah, we are. Not on the RSI though, but all of this is just saying, hey, we're slowing down, the momentum's running out, and we can see when it's drawn like this that we've been on a pretty big run, and yeah, it's time for a rest. So for the DIA, this looks like a really strong level right in through there. So maybe we come back down into the 50. We haven't been in the 50 for a while, right? Maybe we come down into the 50. Maybe we come down to this support zone. Maybe we wait for the 100 to catch up. But I am much less bullish on the DIA as I was earlier. Masashi says, doesn't look good for the upside. Yep, I agree. Benjamin says, the trend's not broken till it's broken. So yeah, don't go bearish. Just as we've been saying all week, lock in your stops, right? Tighten your stops, take your profits. Now is not the time to go for home runs, especially because earnings is coming up, right? Earnings season is coming in, and a lot of companies are going to be announcing things, and volatility is going to go nuts starting next week. So yeah, just lock it in, play defense. Benjamin says, still buy the dip though. This is not the dip, but when the dip happens, yeah, that's not the dip. I agree. The dip, I guess, Benjamin and I are saying the same thing in different ways. I'm expecting the dip to be somewhere, let me draw this differently, over here, somewhere in this range. Benjamin, you're making me laugh, man. Brian says low calorie dip. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. At any rate, the DIA, this is that trend line. I do think it gets broken soon. Groovy, the Qs. Now, the Qs did not make a higher high. So I would expect a very similar shape on the stochastics and RSI. Kinda. Not so much as the others, but yeah, I'd say the Qs probably have a little bit more bullishness in it. I would not be surprised if we go sideways. You know what? I think we got to wait for the 50 again. And we checked the 50 once, we checked it twice, we checked it thrice. I think we check it deadly and it comes into the 100. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds like a 90s song. Yeah, so on all these, you know, the last couple of days I've been, hey, a little bit more bullish than bearish. And now I'm saying I'm neutral. Benjamin says that's what my Mr. Squiggles looks like. One of these. Yep, I think that's what we get. Groovy and the Russell 2000, all of this bearish volume has been a leading indicator. Nice bounce back today on good volume. So the real question is, are we going to bounce off this support zone? Or are we going to come back up here to this 100 moving average, catch the 10, and come on back down to the 200 like we did those two places? Either way, you know, I think a short retrace, I guess we are having the short retrace. We might retrace some more. Nothing too, oh, this is a great picture right here. So notice how we got really strong bearish divergence here on the IWM, but we really didn't go careening bearish. We just went sideways, right? And that divergence was done there. That's when divergence was over. When the stochastics came up higher than the previous bump. So again, when I say bearish divergence, this is a great picture of what a bearish divergence playing out. Again, it just means don't go bullish. It's that the market has lost its bullish edge and is likely to go sideways, or it could go down. Now, once again, we've got divergence over here, and we did go down. But all it says is now's not the time to get aggressive in the bullish direction. Awesome sauce. Yeah, Benjamin saying on the IWM, now that we've come down so much, let's keep an eye out for bullish divergence, which would be higher lows on the stochastics, while the IWM continues to make lower lows. So if that keeps coming down and that keeps going up, won't be that extreme, but that would be what bullish divergence is. I wonder if I can see any. So again, I'm looking for lower lows on the IWM and higher lows on, well, we haven't had lower lows in just like forever. I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it, and you guys are not here to watch me hunt and peck for bullish divergence. So when we see it, we'll call it out, and until then, chill out on the bullishness. That's all we're saying, right? Chill out on the bullishness. Groovy, that is the overall market. Let's take a look at Macy's. Benjamin says he's going to help me watch for it. Benjamin, you find it, I will throw a frequent trader point your way again. So today I called out an exit at 242 on Macy's, and man, kind of a waste, because you know the one you get to call the bottom one time in your life. I think I called it today. I just got lucky, and I wasn't even in the position. So I feel like I wasted my one time to exit at the very bottom. Masashi says, what are frequent trader points? Ooh, Masashi. Frequent trader points are like frequent flyer miles or better. We are a new company, but we have a vision that you will be able to use the frequent trader points to buy things or to get things like free t-shirts, free coffee mugs, free coaching, free big screen TVs. There has been an offer in the past, and I do not know if it'll be offered again in the future, but you can trade in some massive amount of frequent trader points for a discount on your monthly subscription. So collect the frequent trader points. You get them just by being here. You get them by being a subscriber, and you get them by doing things that help out the community. So Benjamin helped us identify bullish divergence, which is a big sign to watch out for bullish plays, and that'll help people. So I gave him a frequent trader point. In the day trading room, if someone suggests, like yesterday, we wrecked Intel all over the place, and people were telling me what their entries were, and I didn't even have it on my watch list. And so someone, was it Charles? Whoever helped me get it on the watch list, they got a frequent trader point. So when you do things to help people, we throw frequent trader points your way because we are a family. Tim says, I called the bottom with no skin in the game. Yep. Really, all I did though is I looked for that daily 200 simple moving average, and on Interactive Brokers, I pulled open the option chart, and it had, let's see, the value of the option had done that. And actually, let me see. It was probably on like a 5-minute chart. Yeah, and so that down there was like $2.45, and that was something like 242. And so somewhere around there, I said, hey, if we can get 242 again, let's do it. And it did it. And yeah. Ben Marcel says, Newsom is not here, but placed a great trade there on Macy's and helped me earn an R. You rock, Benjamin. Yes, Jeremy is a great trader, but remember, you are the one that decided to take the trade. You are the one that chose where to enter and what to enter. So, you know, a lot of folks, you know, tell me, you know, thank you for a great trade when I call it out. And I'm just gonna say, you know what, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You are responsible for your own trades. You know, if a trade doesn't work out, it's not my fault. If a trade does work out, it's not my fault, right? If you place a great trade, then that is all on you. You should be happy. You should be proud. Maybe Jeremy alerted you to it, or maybe I alerted you to it, but you are the one that did it. So congrats to you. So on the Macy's trade up here, I have, let's see. It is closed. We're all out. Awesome sauce. So I'm going to delete these things. And continue. Yeah, I was looking to see if maybe there's another entry, but I don't think so. So I'm going to take Macy's off our list, and we will keep on keeping on. So FireEye had a really nice move today. I'm not a big fan of that upper wick, but I am a big fan of the volume, the buying volume that came in at the end of the day. I am a fan that we are up at least a few pennies from where we closed today. That daily 200s at 1642. Let's move our stop up to 1630. It's not much, but it's a little bit. It'll take some risk off the table. We are still above the daily 100 simple moving average. Yeah, let's move the stop up to there. And then tomorrow, if we can break higher, then I'll move it either to below the daily 200 or below this most recent wick wick. Swing trade. Let's raise the stop on the FireEye swing trade to 1630. And I can take a picture. Click. Sending that on out. Groovy. So that is our update on FireEye. Oh, I wanted to post that over here as well. FireEye stop update. Ooh, and Jeremy over here said higher target. We may not be doing any kind of higher targets if we're seeing bullish divergence on the market. He's got 1901 and I've got 1856. Let's get a solid breakout and tell you what, I'll put it up there for now. Again, bearish divergence doesn't mean everything's going to go careening downwards. It just means pay attention, pay attention. Also, earnings coming up in about 3 weeks. So if we don't pick up some speed, it may be time to lock it in. Let's see if we're experiencing the same kind of divergence here that we were on some of the others. And we are. We are. Right? That's no good. So I'll give this maybe one more day to break higher. And if it doesn't, I may just bail for break even. I'll give it one more day. Benjamin says, still inside that rising wedge. Ooh, if you say rising wedge, then I'm really not going. Yeah, I'll give it one more day. Rising wedges are nasty when they go bearish. Trade your plan. And if that means that you bail for break even tomorrow or you bail at market, I got no problems with that. Let's see, October 3rd, some bearish divergence found, plus Benjamin identified a bearish ascending wedge on October 4th. Tighten, stop, or bail. So folks, pay attention for a call or a message from me on Slack around 3:30, 3:45 tomorrow afternoon. And if I see something I don't like going on the 5 or 15 minute chart, I may call an exit sooner. All right, just catching up on the chat pane. All right. Yates says, did I get your Slack message about the CRM weekly options newsletter from last week? No, but I was talking with someone in the day trading room today. I forget who it is that's still in that CRM trade. At the time that I canceled it, I had multiple people tell me that they never got triggered. So I don't think, yeah, so I believe I canceled it. It was active, Jeremy did. I don't know, I wasn't in, says Yates. Okay, so if some people are telling me that they did get filled before Monday, I guess we can figure that out. We'll figure out what to do on, yeah, we'll figure out how to track that in the spreadsheet. But if you are in it, it looks bullish except for that bullish volume right there. Let's check it out on an hourly. I would raise your stop to whatever that is. Corey says, I accidentally got in too. Okay. So if you guys got filled today or yesterday, then that was after that was after I canceled it. If you got in on Monday, then yeah, then I would suggest tightening up your stop. And if you can exit for break even or small profit, I would. But you got a nice bounce today. And yeah, if you can exit somewhere around in there tomorrow, I would. Benjamin says, I bet Bollinger Band suggests it's a good exit. Not sure on the elliptical. So Benjamin's working out right now on the elliptical machine. Just kidding. I don't see, I guess that is kind of it. I was going to say, I don't see a place where we like failed to get into the upper band that would be like a super duper run. There's a great chance that this pullback into the 20, the midline there, the 20 moving average, is all we need for that thing to come back up. So again, like on a lot of things that we've been saying, it's time to play defense. So if you are still in on that CRM trade, I would exit for break even and or tighten your stop. Check the hourly. Yeah, I just checked the hourly. Maybe the 15 has something. Yeah, I take a look at the option chart, and unfortunately, I cannot. My broker will not show me the option chart after hours. But I would tighten your stop to whatever that level is, maybe even up to there, and drop your sell limit on the option to break even, and see if we can't nurse that thing back up to break even. All right. FireEye we looked at, CRM we looked at, Macy's we looked at. Here is DDD, a neat little candle today if you have a naked put, and many of y'all do. Tesla, a lot of people have been talking about, do we hold, do we exit for 50%, do we exit for 80%? What do we do? And of course, this is why you want to have your plan, your exit plan, before you go in, right? So you don't have to wonder. So if you are one of those people that is unsure of how to manage the trade, then that's just maybe a little mental note that you need to make your exit plans more clear before you go in, which is fine. Some people exited for 50%. Some people are holding out for 80%. Some people are like, do you see how low 100 is? There's no way that it gets down there by November 16th. Hewlin says, I got out of a Tesla bull spread today at 70%. Very nice. If you want to, you can always buy a put, buy a really, really cheap put, either somewhere down in here, so that if for some reason it does come down there, that this now becomes a directional bear put spread. And I bet that option down there, like the 105 or the 110, is really, really cheap. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. And we're talking about Tesla, the November 16 100 strike. What do you mean it doesn't exist? Is it finance.yahoo? There we go. Tesla, yes, Tesla. Options, please. Oh, thank you, Yahoo, so much. November 16, and I'm looking at the 100 strike, or I want to look at the 100 strike put. There, okay, so that's the one that we sold. So you can buy the 110 strike put for 80 cents, right? And that'll, it'll take some risk off the table. And if this thing comes down, the long put will go up in value a lot. Mike says, Thinkorswim says roughly 60 cents. Well, I trust Thinkorswim way more than Yahoo Finance. but 60 or 80 cents. So, oh, for the 100. Gotcha. Let's see. I need this thing to go away. There we go. So for the 100, yeah, I agree. 59 cents to sell it and 66 cents to buy it. But if you buy the one right above it, essentially what you're doing is entering into a bear put spread. And yeah, so you can lock in a profit, and if this thing goes down, like I said, this one will go up in value. So that's another way to play defense, or you can just close that one out now, right? So what is it if you bought it back? If you bought back the 100, it would be 66 cents. And if you bought the 110, it'd be 67 cents. However you want to do it. But if you are anxious or nervous, you can always buy the 110 and protect yourself. Or you could buy the 90, and that would at least limit your loss if it comes, or sorry, no, you can't do that. Yeah, I'd buy the 110. You could buy the 90. You could buy the 90. That would be cheaper, but you would be able to take a loss on that, I believe. No, if you buy the 90, you could buy it for 50 cents. Anyways, the point is you can buy a put on Tesla if you want to play defense. Joseph says, UXIN had an inside candle. Might be time to look at a bullish move depending on tomorrow's candle. If I have time, can I look at it? Of course, I will make time. All right, Red Hat. This is the weekly options newsletter. If we come up and fill this, I think there's a great chance that we roll on down. So the idea is to buy the November 16th 130 strike put for $3.50. Use a protective stop at $1.50, and the sell limit will be either $7.50 right now, but if we come down into this level, I will do a market sell. And there's that. That'll tell me. That means it'll beep if I'm on or whatever. Benjamin says, I like it. Dude, Benjamin, if you like it, I like it more. I don't do much swing trading. I do almost all day trading, and if I do swing trading, it's a couple of days. So I appreciate your support. Benjamin says, as long as the bullish candle isn't on huge volume, if it is on huge volume, it'll be too late because I will have already gotten filled. But realize if this thing does continue down, the volatility will go up. And as the volatility goes up, the value of these options will go up. If the price does wiggle back up, then the volatility will likely decrease, and the value of these options will decrease as well, sort of like pushing the stop further away. And again, that's why we do options, is because if you are right, the value of your option will increase quickly. If you are wrong, the value of your option will decrease slowly. But either way, we've been talking about the market has bearish divergence, so why not make a bearish play? If you want to do this with shares, that's fine too. The reward risk is not quite as nice with shares, but let's see. I think I drew a target right in there, but if you wanted to take that lower, especially if you're doing shares, you can take partials. For me personally, I have a $200 R. That's a $2 risk, so one contract is all I can take. And if I can lock in a profit, I will. Questions about Red Hat? Groovy like a smoothie at a drive-in movie that's showing Rudy. Let's check out CCL. I was prepared to say I'm not going to take this trade because of earnings, but earnings are not for a really, really long ways. I really like the bullish pop here. I like the low volume. I think this is a pretty solid bullish flag. I don't like the idea of placing this trade bullish if I am neutral to even short-term bearish on the rest of the market. So I'm going to wait. I was prepared to make this an official swing trade, but after the way we looked at the overall markets, I'm going to wait. So obviously you guys are going to be trading your own plans. The reason I liked it is because that bearish trend line just got broken. The bullish trend line is intact with that recent earnings gap. Big volume coming in. Lots of people buying this thing for a value. This, with that low volume, looks like a classic bullish flag. To the first resistance, we get about 1R, 2R before that resistance. So I like this play quite a bit, but because of the look on the overall market, I'm going to go wait for a little bit. Benjamin says it's not horrible. Maybe it goes sideways for a while before it triggers. Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, if it goes sideways a little bit, and the market also goes sideways or comes down, I might like this one better next week. Frank kind of likes it. All right. Frank, and to everyone else that says I kind of like it, I would say wait. Wait until you're like, oh my gosh, I love it. I absolutely love it. If you kind of like it, I say wait. Brian Trinell got a frequent trader point by posting something very awesome in the Slack channel yesterday, and I recopied it again this morning. I thought I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Oh man, I can't find it now. Oh, here it is. It says, your job as a trader is to wait for the best opportunities. Money is made stalking and sitting, not by being active and forcing a trade each day. Money is made by stalking and sitting. So, Frank, I really appreciate what you typed in there. So thanks for creating that teachable moment. And Frank, I don't know if maybe that's the way you say, ooh, I maybe you really do like it, but you just kind of typed in, I kind of like it. But my point is, and I know this is a big problem that I have, is that I trade way too much. Most months I have 30 or 40 day trades. And if you can get 6% a month after commissions and you compound, which most of us don't, that will double your account in a year. If your R is 2% of your portfolio, you only need 3 or 4 R in a month. 3 or 4 R. That means you need 5 or 6 good trades in a month. 5 or 6 trades. I'm doing like 30 or 40. That's bad. So I need to take Brian's advice here. I need to chillax. And chillax is a combination of chill out and relax when it comes to trading. So yeah, if you see something you kind of like it, and I think that's where I am. I kind of like it. Before I looked at the overall market, I really liked it. But now I just kind of like it. So I'm going to wait. And I like Benjamin's idea. If it can go sideways for a week, then maybe we take it. Lee Ho says 30 good trades. Lee, you need 5 or 6 good trades in a month. That's it. Total. Because 4 or 5 R after commissions, if you're using a 2% R, will double your account in a year. And I think most people would be okay with half that. All right. Benjamin says, if CCL holds and SPY dumps, it will be even more evidence that CCL is bullish. Yes. Yes. Benjamin says, me too, working on trying to trade less. Angela says, ooh, this is good advice. When you have the opportunity to say, oh my gosh, that looks great. I assume that's what you mean by OMG, right? Write it down. Bought me some shop last night and OMG, that looks good. Up 2R today. Dang, Angela. Woohoo. All right, so CCL, I'm going to wait a few more days. Here is shop, and Angela said, I looked at it last night, and I'm guessing you did that. No, you had to get dirtier than that. Angela, did you do something like that? That's Angela, because that would be about 2R today. Very, very nice. 156.60. I'm just looking over here. My number is 156.80. Angela, I read your mind. Amazing, amazing trade. Because we are seeing some bearish divergence in the overall market, don't be afraid to lock that in, whether that means exiting some or tightening up your stop. Justin Linderman says, Brad, would you consider cutting back to 20 trades per month if you were challenged to? Justin, one of my big struggles is when I am leading the webinar, people want me to trade, and people subscribe because they want to see me trade. And what people don't realize is that they want to see me make few trades that are really good. So if you and I want to talk offline about a challenge, about the number of trades per month, I will consider whatever your challenge is. But yeah, I'm not willing to take a challenge while I am doing the trading floor because I am very distracted. I got a chat pane, I got Slack, and I'm trying to swing trade. But I like it. Let me know your challenge. Text me, email me, let me know what's up. Groovy. Hey, Angela, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Skechers is another trade that I kind of like to set up here. Again, it's a bearish trade, and if we are bearish on the overall market, why not? When I looked at I was looking at this for a day trade today, and I was like, man, this looks like a 5-minute chart. And if I was trading a 5-minute chart, I would trade that right there. And one of the great things about day trading and swing trading is that you should look for the exact same shapes, just on a different time frame. The real catch on SKX, the reason I'm not making it official, is that we got earnings coming up in 2 weeks. And if this thing doesn't want to go fast, then I'd be in trouble. So I'm not going to make this an official trade. I'm not going to do this in my personal trading plan. I can tell you, if for some reason this thing gaps down to there tomorrow, I will be day trading this. Oh yes, I will be day trading. But there's that. If you like this picture and it meets your trading plan, I was about to say you have my blessing, but no one needs or should even desire my blessing to place a trade. Just be aware that earnings is coming up. I like it. I'd be more bearish than bullish. And in fact, I'm going to come over here to my day trade list and add Skechers. While I'm here, let me show you Nike. I've got Nike on my list because if it gaps down tomorrow even a little bit, I will be day trading Nike. So for any of y'all that do like some day trading, I'll have Nike on my list for tomorrow. So that was Skechers. Questions, comments, or concerns on Skechers? EA was also on our watch list. Earnings are coming up, but I wanted a bullish candle before this trade triggers on EA. Today was a bearish candle. I wanted a bullish trade on this, but I think this thing looks ready to come down here at least to the bottom of this channel. Bearish volume is winning, but I wanted a bullish candle in here before I take that breakdown. Mike says, I love to day trade. Think you could tell my boss to leave me alone? I'll tell your boss if you tell mine. I'll tell your boss whatever you want. I'm not sure it'll have positive implications on your life, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Lee says, bearish day on Nike. I'm not calling for it, Lee. I'm saying if if Nike gets to there tomorrow, if Nike gaps down tomorrow below the daily 50 exponential moving average, so realize I started with an if. If it does that, then I will look for an opportunity to trade it down into this support. That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling for it. I'm just saying if it does, right? And that's really how you should approach all of your trades. Say, if the stock does this, then I will do that. Kind of like this one on EA. On EA, I said, if I get a bullish candle, I would trade it bearish. But actually, I made myself a note just watching because earnings is coming up way too quickly. Frank says, that could be a cup and handle on EA. It could, but usually the handle part doesn't have volume like that. And the cup, I think that's a little bit too steep. Honestly, I think it's in a channel. I think it looks kind of like that. So it might, but either way, I'm not trading it, so it can do whatever it wants. I am not going to be partaking in EA. Let's go look at Shake Shack. Earnings coming up, so once again, I will be waiting on this one. I liked this one for a potential weekly options newsletter, but I would have wanted the November 16th option, and when you're buying options over earnings, you have to pay a lot, and I did not want to pay a lot for that muffler or the call. I like the volume here. I love the fact that this thing retested all resistance and found it as new support. It's not exactly the perfect shape, but I would be okay if someone wanted to call this a cup and handle, and that's the handle and it's ready to go. Again, usually the cup has more of that kind of shape and not that kind of shape. But either way, you got a rounding here, you got a bull flag there, and that's what a cup and handle is. Cup and handle is a consolidation followed by a bullish flag pattern. So I would be more bullish than bearish on Shake Shack. I am not going to take this because of earnings coming up. Earnings are 4 weeks away. If it goes quickly, you can get there, but if it goes and it retests and it wiggles, and some of the market has bearish divergence, so it takes its time, we could be stepping into a trap. So I am going to wait. Benjamin says, but if we overcome that big bearish candle, it's certainly bullish to fill the gap regardless of what pattern is. So Benjamin, you're talking about EA, right? Benjamin says, yeah, if we can come out and take out that candle and that candle on that volume and on that volume, yeah, we go bullish. I agree, sir. All right, so that's EA, that's Shake Shack. I really like some of these, but I don't love them, right, Frank? I like them, but I don't love them, so I'm going to wait. Bank of America has earnings coming up very, very soon, but if we do a little wiggle here, I'm going to wait for that wiggle, then I would look to take it bearish. Yeah, so let's see, let's let it go sideways a little bit and then see if it wants to gap down there on earnings or maybe above there on earnings, but waiting on Bank of America. So that is what I have on my watch list. Questions, thoughts, or concerns about the trades that have my interest peaked? Go ahead and type them in. And I'm going to start looking at requests. Let's see, CVNA. Let's see, we also had this on our watch list for a pullback into here and then a potential rollover. Earnings coming up on November 7th. Pretty much are telling me to wait on that one. MU is also a watch. That one's not doing much just yet. If it weren't, oh yeah. I really liked this bullish volume here on MU. So if we break down there I would be more bearish than bullish, but right now I'm not getting a good reward risk. So that is also just on my watch list. Target also on the watch list. Target broke down, starting to make this look like a head and shoulders. So if you want to trade Target bearish, you can. I'm not quite feeling it. Let's see what it does. Maybe if we get some wiggles on that daily 50 moving average, we can trade it down to the 100. So I will keep Target on my watch list. APPN was a request today. Benjamin says maybe an Adam and Eve double bottom on MU. I'm not sure what an Adam and Eve double bottom is, but I think I'm about to learn something. APPN had a big rundown, kind of into an old resistance area, which might be a new support. Pretty decent volume on that retest. I know a lot of you like finding supports and you'll throw a buy limit out there and maybe you'll have your protective stop down here just to see what happens. I'm not that kind of trader. So I'm not going to do a buy limit there. That reward risk is pretty decent if you do get filled. It's just not what's in my trading plan. So be sure you trade your trading plan. I'm not a big fan of these lower highs. I'm really not a fan of that parabolic move. I'm not a fan of these lower lows that we're getting right in through there. So I'm not going to place that trade. If I am in APN Corporation, I hope you're in bearish. Going to have my stop right about there because it is likely to pull back into find some sort of old resistance. You are at a target area, so lock some in if you can. Now, if I'm not in a position but looking to be in, again, it's one of those newer stocks, and I'm not a fan of the newer stocks. You know what? I think if this wants to come up to this area and wiggle a little bit with those moving averages coming in, I think I'd be more bearish than bullish. You know, unfortunately, APPN, I'm not seeing anything. I know when you guys request stocks, you want me to tell you which way it's going to go or which way I think it's going to go, and I'm just getting so many mixed signals. I just got to wait. So I forget who was the one that asked me about APPN. If you want to message me on Slack at Brad Reed, some more specific questions about what you're looking at, go right ahead. But for me, it's going to be a big wait. I imagine we're going to have earnings coming up fairly soon anyway. So probably not a time to enter. Benjamin says, here is an example of an Adam and Eve double bottom. Benjamin, is everything appropriate here? So a double bottom with a higher bottom over here. Looks like Adam is very V-shaped and Eve is very round-shaped. All right. Very interesting. All right. Tom says forbidden fruit. All right. So APPN. Now my eyes are looking for Adam and Eve. Ooh, is this one? I guess we didn't get back up there to the neckline. Anyways. All right, moving on. Take a look at Billy. Gorgeous, gorgeous gap and go today. And this was at the very top of our list for a bullish day trade because it opened right above a very strong resistance. Billy put in incredible bearish volume as likely a lot of these traders in here had been frustrated with the sideways action, and all of a sudden, bam, they got an opportunity to exit for a profit, and boy, did they take it. So what I would like to do is draw a resistance line up through here, and watch this thing, see if it can wiggle down here. Let some of these moving averages come in, and then maybe trade it on bullish. But definitely I'm going to wait for that thing to shake out and go sideways for a little bit. If we are in it, if you're in a position, I think a protective stop down below that daily 100 simple moving average, if that locks in a profit for you, is sound. Yeah, I think that would be my play on Billy. So if I'm looking for a position, wait for a wiggle and these moving averages to come in. If I'm in it, nice tight stop, get ready to lock it in. Benjamin saying, I saw the Adam and Eve double bottom on MU. Okay. So this is what Benjamin saw. So if it comes up to there, we will consider. I don't know if I'm quite ready to trade that bullish with the moving average coming down. The 200 and 100, I mean, those long-term moving averages are sideways, and they are much less strong as support or resistance when they are going sideways. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, my thought was a bearish trade taking out those bulls. But yeah, we'll just watch it and we'll see what happens. Tim says the first V has to have a long lower wick. I don't know, Tim. Good question for Benjamin. I'll let Benjamin answer that in the chat pane. UXIN. Let's see. What was the question on UXIN today? Okay, I forget what the question was. Again, I don't like trading newer stocks, but this looks a lot like, is it Carnival Cruise Line? Yeah, it looks kind of like CCL. We have a big bullish candle and what looks like a bullish flag. So on UXIN, an entry, maybe even an entry as aggressive as that. Because it looks like it has found support here and looks like it just made a higher low. I am a believer that a lot of these IPOs come down, they go sideways, and then they pop. And maybe this one's just going to start its pop a little bit early. So if you want to take it bullish, I understand. I don't like trading brand new stocks, so I will be waiting. Joseph says, maybe go bullish. Yeah. I would be much more bullish than bearish on UXIN on a weekly chart. One concern is that this may just be like a wave 2. But it's pretty low already. I really like that support. I would be more bullish than bearish on UXIN. If I am a shareholder of UXIN, obviously if you bought up here and you're still in it, you probably don't have a protective stop or your protective stop is 0. If you were a buyer anywhere in through here, then I would suggest a nice tight protective stop, maybe underneath that candle. Give yourself a little bit of room to see if it can pop bullish. All right, we have a few more minutes. And man, today's supposed to be energy day. So let's take a look at some energy. British Petroleum up into resistance. Maybe if that wants to go sideways, we got earnings coming up. So today's Energy Wednesday, we're going to have earnings coming up on a lot of these. So probably not going to get too many entries. Neat looking double bottom here, but yeah, it is coming into a resistance. So if you are a holder of British Petroleum, I would suggest a nice tight stop. You can consider selling a covered call over earnings if you want, or one to expire shortly before earnings. But yeah, if I am not in on British Petroleum, I'm going to wait for earnings. ExxonMobil. Sharon says, got to go. Thanks all. Thanks, Sharon. Don't forget about Matt DeLong's Naked Put webinar coming up here in about 30 minutes. ExxonMobil looks very much the same. Maybe not quite into a stronger resistance as British Petroleum. May have just done its pullback. That might have been the buy opportunity with a protective stop down there. But again, earnings coming up in about 2 weeks. So if you are holders of ExxonMobil, think that's pretty clear for your protective stop and a target right up about there. FSLR, solar does not look bullish. Looks like a descending triangle, but there's also some support a little bit lower. Earnings coming up in a little bit, so I would be waiting on that as well. If you are in shares, I think a protective stop down there or a protective put is warranted. Maybe you could sell a covered call up here underneath that daily 100 simple to get a little bit of premium. If you were not in but looking for a position, I would say wait for earnings. Folks, that is the end of the time, unfortunately. HK, says Benjamin, check it out. Halcon Resources looks like a bullish flag pattern working right now. Earnings are a little bit later. It looks like we still have 40 days until earnings. I like the bullish volume that came in today, but because of the bearish volume in through here, I would probably have to wait for an entry there. And that daily 200 simple moving average is going to be in the way. If you are a holder of shares, I think a nice protective stop underneath that daily 100 makes sense. And perhaps selling a covered call in the $5.50 or $6 range going out until earnings makes a lot of sense. Cool, folks. We got to look at, sorry we didn't get to see many energy stocks, but we did get to look at a lot of stocks where a potential setup is either ready right now or might be in a couple of days. So we'll take a look at those again tomorrow. You guys rock. Thanks for trading with me. Benjamin says, can we look at NIO tomorrow? Absolutely. We'll look at that tomorrow. Back down into support. I don't like it. I don't like new stocks, but we'll check that out in more detail tomorrow. Don't forget Matt DeLong's webinar coming up here in about 30 minutes. If you have not registered already, I will get the that link in Slack posted here in about 3 minutes. And until I get to trade with y'all again, trade on logic, not on hope. Have a good one, everybody.